Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out top 10 British TV moments that shocked the world.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British TV moments that shocked the world.
Great.
One of you got 4.6 million votes. The other one of you got 4.1 million votes.
For this list, we'll be looking at television moments in the UK that were unexpected, surprising, or unbelievable. Let us know in the comments which one you never saw coming. Number 10, 0 points in Eurovision. The Eurovision Song Contest. The UK has won Eurovision a fair few times, though never in the 21st century. But even though Britain has put out infamously poor performances in the last few decades, none have come close to the 2003 entry. Cry Baby, performed by Gemini, went down like a lead balloon. The issue was that Gemini were singing completely off-key, which they said was because of a malfunction meant they couldn't hear their own backing track. Regardless of the reason, it was the only time the United Kingdom ever received 0 points in Eurovision, and was so bad the singer's dressing room actually got vandalized.
Wow, it was so bad that their dressing room got vandalized. I just learned about Eurovision, and I reacted to a video just a couple days ago, and they mentioned this. They say they couldn't hear the backing track, but they're in time, they're just not in pitch. So maybe they could hear it well enough to stay in sync, but just not in tune, I guess. Cry Baby, performed by Gemini. The song is a simple pop ditty about a woman telling her lover that their relationship is over, because he does not love her anymore. The Eurovision failure prompted a great deal of mirth and consternation in the British and European media. Gemini admitted that their performance was off-key, yes it was, and claimed they were unable to hear the backing track due to a technical fault. Did every other group competing have that same technical issue? I don't know, I don't think so, it doesn't look like it. Longtime commentator on the contest for the BBC said the UK was suffering from post-Iraq backlash, although the majority of the media blamed the result on the poor quality of the song and that it was sung out of tune. And it was. Reminds me of this person. Good stuff. All right, this is number 10. Yeah, this would be hard to watch. A whole song of that. I will hand it to them. They kept going, they finished the song, and they smiled the whole way through. So, great job, Gemini.
Number 9, Sharon Osbourne throws water at Louis Walsh. The X
Sharon.
Factor. While giving his verdict on the song choice in one X Factor performance, Louis got Sharon laughing, and by the time it was her turn to talk, she hadn't stopped. This prompted a contentious joke from Walsh about whether she'd been borrowing any of Ozzy Osbourne's substances of choice, which Sharon didn't take kindly to. It was clearly all in good fun, and nobody was actually offended, but she still doused Louis in 2 full glasses of water for good measure in front of a cheering audience.
Watch, there's a laptop here. There's a laptop, Sharon. The laptop
Finally,
is gone.
Sharon was able to give her criticism, but it was difficult to hear what any of them said over the Larry crowd.
They look like they're having fun, though. That's a good thing. Sorry that the laptop got destroyed, most likely from water, but at least they're having a good time. Even Simon's smiling. Sharon Osbourne makes good TV. Great work, Sharon. Everyone's watching you. You're the center of attention. Your dreams have come true.
Number 8, Sila Black quits live on air. Blind Date.
Sila Black?
After 18 years,
Hang on. I thought she was a singer. Is it a different Sila Black? There can't be more than one Sila Black. I mean, I guess she could sing and be on TV.
Sila Black quits live on air. Blind Date. After 18 years, it finally became time for national treasure Sila Black to call it a night on Blind Date. Hosted by her for the duration of its run, when Sila found out there was talk of changing the formula due to falling ratings, she announced that the 2003 series was going to be her last ever live on air.
It is a very special live show because This is going to be my very, very last series of Blind Date.
But not only were the viewing public and studio audience unaware that Sila was calling it quits, but so was the entire production staff.
Isn't it a shame? I've had great fun for 18 years.
In fact, an ITV executive even had to come out and explain that the show was nearing its end after Sila's shock announcement, which also happened to be Blind Date's first ever live episode.
Wow. That is Sila Black, the singer. I recognize her teeth. No offense, but I recognize her teeth. So the show usually wasn't live. This episode was, and that's when she chose to do it. I like that. Great work, Sila. Very subversive. I dig it. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, championed by her friends, the Beatles. That's the only reason I know who she is, because she was friends with the Beatles. Good for her. Oh, she died? Oh, in 2015, after a fall in her holiday villa in Estepona, a town in Spain. She had a Spanish villa. She's doing all right. She doesn't need that show. Great work, Sila. National treasure, they say. I like her.
Number 7, Will Young wins Pop Idol. Pop Idol.
I'm gonna assume Pop Idol is like our American Idol, like a singing competition, right?
Time's up. The moment the nation has been waiting for. We have the results.
One of the earliest national talent shows was Pop Idol, though it only ran for 2 series in the UK. Still, its influence legendary.
The winner of Pop Idol 2002 is...
Hang on. I don't even watch this show, and just in this moment, because of the way he was saying it, I got excited. Intense. I don't know which one of these guys are who. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know what their voices sound like. I don't know what song they sang, but I'm into it. Who won?
Will!
A fate which awaits the contestants of many singing competitions.
Yep. Angelic voice. Why was it shocking? I guess it was so close. Did people think this guy was going to win? And he just didn't? I don't trust the voting on those shows. I think the producers circumvent the votes and make the winner who they want. I don't believe them. It's all for TV. Ratings, right? I don't believe it.
Number 6, The Fall. Sherlock. In Conan Doyle's stories, Sherlock and Moriarty finally come to blows on a cliff's edge at the Reichenbach Falls.
I remember
after
that.
Which Sherlock plummets to his doom. A similar thing happened in the Series 2 finale of Sherlock, where Sherlock jumps, seemingly to his death, from the top of St. Bart's Hospital. But at the very end of the episode, it was revealed to the audience that Sherlock wasn't dead at all. It was so shocking that years of international fan speculation took over the internet. Theories about how Sherlock survived became inescapable. And then, after all that, another shock followed. Stephen Moffat opted to never explain what happened and openly mocked the viewers who cared so much.
I watched Sherlock. It was a great show. And I remember that fall. Yeah, it shocked me. I was like, what? I didn't like that they didn't explain how he survived because it makes it feel like lazy writing. I guess someone could survive a fall at that height, maybe? Maybe his coat was like a parachute. Maybe he had on padding. Maybe he had a twin brother. Who knows? But yeah, that shocked me.
Number 5, Katy Price and Peter Andre. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
I don't know what this is.
History was made in 2004 when glamour model Katy Price, still going by Jordan at the time, met superstar Peter Andre. Viewers were quick to notice the flirting and chemistry, which led to a 5-year relationship between Price and Andre, who ended up having kids together.
Oh.
Katy Price remains one of the most famous people in the UK, love her or hate her, while Andre is globally recognizable. But seeing their romance develop in real time on the daily episodes of I'm a Celeb was a surreal experience for the British public, to say the least. With the show still in its early days, it definitely wasn't what anybody expected.
I've never heard of this show. I've never heard of these people. Who's this person who called them out? Her. Hey, if you're around a campfire and you see a couple of people getting close, don't call them out. That's called cock blocking. Although I guess it didn't block the cock that well because they did end up getting together. But what you're doing here, lady, is you're making everybody uncomfortable. Right? I guess that's fine. I appreciate subversion. And I bet she was just jealous. She liked the dude with the cowboy hat, and she saw that the dude with the cowboy hat wasn't paying attention to her. He was paying attention to the white woman with cornrows. Cornrows are sexy. She thought, I'll wear these red socks and I will attract all the attention from this guy. But it didn't work. She's even showing her butt to him. She's like, look at this. This could be yours. But he doesn't want that. He wants the cornrows.
Number 4, Pier Morgan quits. Good Morning Britain. Following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's controversial interview with Oprah Winfrey, Pier Morgan, as usual, couldn't keep his thoughts to himself. But apparently the public was outraged when Piers took issue with Meghan Markle, saying she'd experienced severe mental health difficulties during her time as a senior member of the royal family, which he said he didn't believe. He was called out for this by weatherman Alex Beresford live on air, but after some criticism from Beresford, Piers stormed out of the studio. The following day, he announced he was quitting GMB for good, becoming the recipient of a record-breaking 41,000 complaints to Ofcom.
Say what you want about Pier Morgan, but he knows how to create good TV. Drama, controversy. She says she has mental difficulties while being a member of the royal family. I would believe that. That seems like something that could cause mental issues. And Pierce just said he didn't believe her. And I bet Pier Morgan wanted to quit anyway, and he just used this as a reason. He literally quit. He gave up his argument. He stormed off. That would be shocking. It's always shocking when someone walks off the TV show.
Number 3, Julian Clary on Norman Lamont. British Comedy Awards.
Who better than the man never known to go for a single entendre when a good solid double would do? Please welcome Julian Clary.
Successful British comedy is often edgy, controversial, and pushes the boundaries of what's acceptable. But Julian Clary pushed those boundaries a little too soon when he appeared on the British Comedy Awards in 1993. He told a very blunt joke about getting up to no good with Norman Lamont, a Tory MP at the time, backstage.
As a matter of fact, I've just been Norman Lamont.
Lamont himself was in the audience, and Clary spotted him and decided to poke some fun because he wasn't a fan of his politics.
Just clawed my way through.
Yeah. Are we still on?
Though the joke went down a storm with the other comics and actors in the room, it caught the ire of the tabloids, and he soon found his career floundering as a result.
That seems kind of like a harmless joke. What's he up to now? Julian Clary. There he is. Do they mention the controversy? Ah. Oh, he didn't say the F word. He said... he said this word right here. That's funny. On 12 December 1993, he made an infamous appearance at the British Comedy Awards where he made a joke comparing the set to Hampstead Heath, some of which is known as cruising area for gay men. Oh, and stated he had just been fisting the former Chancellor Norman Lamont, who had presented an award earlier in the ceremony. Due to the instant audience reaction, the punchline, talk about a red box, was widely overlooked, although the joke was met with uproarious laughter from the audience and Lamont himself did not complain over it. He was criticized in some newspapers, particularly by the Daily Mail and The Sun, who both launched a campaign to have him banned from television. Despite these attempts, Clary's next series was the BBC studio-based All Rise for Julian Clary in 1996, in which he played a judge in a mock courtroom setting. That's a good idea for a show. That would be fun to watch. Well, I don't know. It looks like his career's still going. Yeah, look at all the stuff he's doing. He's fine. That didn't end his career. If anything, he's on this list. Great work, Julian. You did it.
Number 2, Susan Boyle. Britain's Got Talent.
And how old
Heard
is
of that?
Susan?
Yep.
When Susan Boyle walked onto the stage on Britain's Got Talent, nobody expected her to give arguably the most iconic performance on any British talent show in history. It was clear that, because of her overconfidence in her own abilities and unassuming appearance, the audience, judges, and even Ant and Dec thought she was going to give an embarrassing audition. But of course, it turned out she wasn't overconfident at all, because she was incredibly talented. Giving a fantastic rendition of I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis, jaws dropped and tears flowed across the nation. Even Simon had nothing but praise for Subo, who's gone on to have a wildly successful singing career.
Get Simon all happy about Susan. I remember when this happened, and it seemed like it brought everybody together. Everybody got behind her and was a fan of her and just loved that she's an unfortunate-looking person, but she can really sing. Just goes to show you how shallow we can be sometimes. If someone's not an ideal-looking person, we think they don't have skills. Great work, Susan. I know you're watching. What's up with her career now? I feel like this was a long time ago. I Dreamed a Dream tour. She's doing some acting. She released her 6th album in 2014. Susan. 6th album. 8th album in 2019. The Huffington Post noted that the producers of the show would have anticipated the potential of this story arc by deliberately presenting Bole in a manner that would enhance this initial reaction. The Herald describes Boyd's story as a modern parable and a rebuke to people's tendency to judge others based on their physical appearance, similar to what I just said. Similarly, Entertainment Weekly said that Boyle's performance was a victory for talent and artistry in a culture obsessed with physical attractiveness and presentation. I agree. Entertainment Weekly with one little moment of a nugget of wisdom. Susan Boyle. Yeah. What a great thing. Congrats, Susan.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Great advice.
Number 1. Princess Diana interviewed. Panorama.
You couldn't indulge in feeling sorry for yourself. You had to either sink or swim.
Insights into the royal family are far more common today than they ever were in the 1990s, thanks to social media and Netflix's The Crown. But in 1995, Princess Diana made history by providing an incredibly rare and highly critical look into the lives of the aristocracy when she gave a tell-all interview on Panorama.
You'd wake up in the morning feeling you didn't want to get out of bed, you felt misunderstood.
She opened up about her eating disorder and other mental health struggles, what she wanted for her sons William and Harry, and even how she felt about Prince Charles's relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles.
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
It was scathing and shed light on the inner workings of the royals, which the British public rarely gets to see.
I've seen bits of this interview before, and yeah, it seems pretty shocking that she would say these things. But good for her for speaking out. I think I saw in another video that I reacted to, I think they mentioned that she did this interview to circumvent ridicule. Right, I'm not reading it here yet, but I kind of remember reading that Martin Bashir forged some documents somehow to convince Princess Diana to do this interview? Okay. They used forged bank statements, falsely indicating people close to her had been paid for spying. Yeah, these were some shocking things. I would agree with the order. A lot of these I didn't even know they happened. Some great, some not so great. Some funny, some sad. That's good TV. Anyway, thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.